Happy Cinco de Mayo, champs, and what a show that Canelo and Jaime Munguia put on last night. It was an all-out war, Mexico versus Mexico on Cinco de Mayo. What can be better? And a lot of the big names in boxing were in attendance, including GERVONTATANKDAVIS and David Benavidez. I wonder, after Canelo Alvarez retires, who is going to be able to take over the face of boxing, or at least the Cinco de Mayo weekend boxing event. And these are the topics that we will be talking about today. But before we get into that, if you guys are not subscribed, please punch and knock out that subscription button. That way you'll never see it again. And ding the notification bell. That way you won't miss any of my new boxing videos. Alright guys, let's get to the round. Ding, ding. But my new co-host, Northpaw377, wants to get started first. Hey, it's ladies first, Northpaw. Go ahead, take the floor.
Northpaw377 back at you with another one, and taking over the boxing world. Happy Cinco de Mayo to all you guys that celebrate Cinco de Mayo. I had a lot of fun in the Canelo Alvarez fight last night. Whether you like it or not, Canelo Alvarez is the proven real face of boxing. Some people say is GERVONTATANKDAVIS, but he is not proven, and he is barely stepping his game up fighting Frank Martin. Don't get me wrong, Tank Davis can become the face of boxing someday, but in doubt at the pace he is going and the quality of fighters that he fights. Canelo Alvarez beats up Jaime Munguia and even drops him in the third round. I think Munguia won the first 2 rounds only, and I believe it was just a matter of time until Canelo Alvarez started to figure out Jaime Munguia. I have to give it up to King Canelo yesterday. He beat another young undefeated fighter pretty easily. This is what the face of boxing does. If Tank Davis wants to become even close to the face of boxing, he needs to start fighting better fighters. But if he does not, he will never beat Canelo as the face of boxing. The only reason that some people even say that Tank Davis is the face of boxing is because Tank Davis made 1 million PPV buys versus Ryan Garcia. And to be honest, we still truly don't know who sold those PPV numbers yet, as the Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia PPV numbers have not came out yet. And Tank Davis has not fought anyone since he fought Ryan Garcia. We are just waiting to see how Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia both do separately. But it seems that Ryan Garcia is more famous than Tank Davis, as Ryan Garcia knows how to promote, and Tank Davis is a shy little boy. And Tank Davis is an introvert. He hardly talks and goes out. I'm surprised he showed his face at the Canelo fight last night. I know I'm going hard on Tank yesterday, but I just hate when people say they are the best when they don't fight the best. Then how would you know you are the best if you are fighting opponents that everyone knows you are supposed to beat? Northpaw has spoken. Now back to Manny.
Man, Northpaw, you went hard on Tank. Don't worry, Tank, I got some dirt on Northpaw. This guy is from Chicago and he has some weird ass ways. I took Northpaw to Walmart the other day because he doesn't have a car, so when we were about to pay, we went to the self-checkout aisle, and when they said pay with cash or pay another way, this guy bends over. I swear, Northpaw is one of the weirdest guys I ever met, but he's never late to work and he is cheap, so I'm never gonna fire him. But that's neither here or there. And it did not look that Jaime Munguia and Canelo Alvarez were in the even playing field. It looked like Canelo Alvarez was levels above Jaime Munguia. Now, Jaime Munguia did move up in weight to 168, so he was fighting at 160 before, but he looked a lot bigger than Canelo Alvarez was. But in boxing, there is a lot of levels, not just 1 or 2. There's a gang of levels in boxing. If Triple G, Caleb Plant, and Charlo are A-level fighters, what does that make Canelo? Is he that much of a better fighter, or is the weight too much? As we all see the size difference between Canelo and Jaime Munguia, that was a big size difference. and Jaime Munguia was towering over Canelo. Hey, but props to Munguia. He actually came with a decent game plan and came to win as he was throwing a lot of shots. It was way better than Charlo did. Hey, I want to see Munguia versus Charlo. I think that would be a fun fight. Or Munguia versus Berlanga, because I don't think Berlanga has a shot at beating Canelo. I think Munguia does a lot better than Berlanga does. I actually think Munguia can beat Berlanga, and Berlanga has not deserved a fight with Canelo Alvarez. Now don't get me wrong, that fight will still be big because you can sell any fight to anybody, and this is gonna be Puerto Rico versus Mexico, as they always had a big rivalry. And what makes it exciting is that Berlanga is still undefeated. When you're undefeated, you make more noise as with somebody that has a couple of losses. And the rumors are that it's going to be either Berlanga or Charlo next. And come on guys, let's be real, we're all gonna be excited when those fights happen. And I already know he is gonna fight David Benavidez for sure. I know he is not ducking David Benavidez because in the post-fight interview, he stated that he will fight David Benavidez if the money is right, and he will do it tonight if they paid him. I actually think he beats David Benavidez, especially at 168, but not at 175. We all know what happened between Canelo Alvarez and Dimitri Bivol at 175, and I think with David Benavidez it will probably be worse because David already went to 175. That means he cannot make 168 because there's still a lot of opponents at 168 he could have fought. And once you move up in weight and you get acclimated at that weight, it's kind of hard to move back down without affecting you. So now that David Benavidez is fighting at 175, I'm sure Canelo Alvarez is gonna make David go down to 168 to fight him, and maybe even put a dehydration clause on him. As we all know, Canelo is concerned about the weight because he said David is the only thing that he offers is an extra 25 pounds on fight night. And this is true. On the Andrade fight, David rehydrated all the way up to 195, and that's only 5 pounds of weight from being a heavyweight. And Canelo got beaten by Bivol, and David Benavidez beat up Bivol in sparring, and he is a lot bigger than Bivol is. That's why Canelo Alvarez is asking $150 to $200 million just to fight him. It's a very dangerous fight for anybody, not just Canelo. And David Benavidez is extremely fast for his size, but Canelo is a good counterpuncher, so if he throws a lot of punches, he has a lot of chances to counterpunch him. David already hit the canvas before, so you can drop him. If you guys like the show, subscribe, like the video, share the video, and that's it for me, champs. I gotta roll.